morning, guys. It's everybody with Jazzy. So, just dropped the kids off at daycare. So, it's time for our part 2 of relationship chit chat in the ride. So, today I just want to cover like my experience. I'm not any kind of a counselor or therapist or anything like that, or a Dr. Phil. I am just, venting my experience in my relationship to see if maybe it would help someone else and help them with their problem. And what I noticed that, I had a big issue with in my relationship or relationships is communication and your worth. Your worth, like what you're worth, what's your standards, what's your limit, what's like the last straw, those things, guys, and like how to notice them and how you can notice that you're not doing that anymore and you're basically settling for what you have. And and I can just share like what happened to me when that happened and how I had to realize and how I had to jump back on it and be like, wait a minute, I have a standard, I have a limit, I have what I want, like, you know what I mean? Like, every woman knows what they want, what they to expect, what they deserve, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes you lose yourself because you're so worried about the other person, so you forget about what you wanted, what's your goals, what's your things you want to do, because you just want that other person to be happy, and you're like 100% focused on that other person, you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like sometimes we love more than they do, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain, because you can ask your other half and they'll be like, no, you don't. I love you the same. Da, da, da. So yeah, one time. So when I got with him, like I said, I was by myself with my son for a long time, like independent. I wasn't used to having to answer to nobody, have to make decisions from my view and someone else's view. And then that determines if it gets done or not. And that was hard for me to and I still don't really fully able to do that, because it's a challenge. So I have to realize, I chose to be in a relationship, right? So it'll sound like an excuse because I'm making excuses for the situation, but it's not. It's the truth. I chose to be in a relationship. I could have got out anytime I wanted, because someone can't make you be in a relationship, guys. So when we were dating, I was like, okay, well, I had a picture of what I wanted. I was like, I've never been married, and when I want to get married, I want him to propose. I want him to get on one knee, propose to me, ask my dad for my hand, like all the traditional things. And when we get married, it would be like something special, like not a big wedding, but all of our family there, like stuff like that. That's what I've always pictured as a little kid. You always want to be like, I want the picket fence in the house and blah blah blah. And I did. I want to get I waited so long to be with someone because I wanted to wait for that person, that one person that is going to be my forever person. And when I was just doing my own thing, I wasn't worried about finding that person. I was like, I'm young. I don't have time to be having to start a relationship, go through it, because it's a lot of work. So when I met him, I was like, okay, well, let's, it was right away, jump into it, okay, move in with each other, meet each other's families, and then my mistake was I had his parents come live with me. That was my biggest mistake. And he told me not to, and I still did it. And I still told him, come live with us. In my mind, it was like I didn't want him to have a reason to go to where he's from, so he wouldn't get into any trouble anymore. And I was like, well, maybe if I bring them here, then he wouldn't have any reason to go out there. So that was my big mistake, because that gave us a bunch of crap in the beginning of our relationship. Caused a lot of anger, because in the beginning the parents were nice, I was comfortable. I was like the girlfriend, so I was like, I wanted to impress his parents, and I told him to come live with us. And I only had been in the apartment for 1 month before they moved in, and he got out. So we looking back at it, I should have waited and let us have our own time as a couple, and it was just me and him, like, and Isaac first, before I decided to move his parents in, because I think we did too much. Because at the same time, his dad missed him, so it's like his dad and me were like competition with each other to get his attention. And it was like his dad's used to him being single, and whenever he calls him, he's available and go to the bar and do all that crap. And I'm like, you have me now. Like, it's not gonna be okay, I'm gonna go with my dad. Like, it's not gonna be cool with me. And it's like, it would just start a lot of issues, because it's like I would argue with him and be like, you know what, like, they're not working, they're not helping us, they're not, because I thought they're gonna help at least something financially, or at least clean the house or do something, because you're living there. And I was like, well, I had to catch myself going to work, coming home and cleaning and cooking. And then they would do it like one time in the beginning. You know how it is in the beginning, they're like real nice, and then like their true colors come out after that. And it's like, okay, now I see how they are. And it was not working out for me. And I was telling Ryan, you got to tell them to leave. Like, they have to go, because it's starting to wear on me and you, and it could potentially break us up, because it's like it's either them or me type of thing, because it got to that point. And I didn't want it to get to that point, but it did, because it was like I'm competition with parents. Like, it's hard to be competition with the parent, because it's like it puts Ryan in a position. But then again, I was like, no, I don't want them here anymore. It's just got uncomfortable. Then they started getting into, like, when we would argue, like his dad would get into the problem, interfere. And then we had to like do all kinds of stuff with them, and I'm like, I'm just over it. Like, I want them out. So he finally said, okay, I'll tell them to leave. And it was like a hesitation. I get it though, because who's gonna want to kick their own parent out? Like, it's hard. So we finally got them to go. You know what I mean? And then after that, it went downhill from there with us. Like, they had a, ugly feeling or ugly taste in their mouth because of it, and they should have understood. You know what I mean? They were there for like 3 months, not having to worry about anything. They noticed I wasn't, feeling it no more, because I would like go home and just be in my room. And I wouldn't go in the living rooms and talk with them, and they knew. And it's just like, why would you still stay there knowing that I am not comfortable with you guys there anymore? And I'm not going to tell you guys, because it's not my position to tell you guys, because that's not my parents. I wouldn't like Ryan to go tell my mom and dad to leave. That's kind of like my responsibility. So we fought a lot about it, because it's like him not wanting to do it. He just didn't want to be the one to be like, you guys got to leave, and be that son that did that. So I was like, it was crap for a while, but we just didn't communicate. And I should have just listened to him from the beginning when he said not to do it. And I see now, because he knows how his parents are. I didn't. I was just naive and be like, oh, in-laws, I don't know anything about that. It was my first time having in-laws that met them and they're in the picture type of thing. So that happened, and they left, and that caused a lot of problems with us because of communication. So now it became a problem to where they made it a problem, and it was like, we don't want her here, blah blah blah. And it was just drama, and it made it to where he wouldn't communicate with me how he felt about the situation. He would just say, it's all right, you told me to do it, so I did it. Like, once again, he put it on me. So that's the problem we have, is the whole shifting of blame. I don't do it, to be honest. I don't shift the blame. Anything I own my shit. Like, I do what I do. I say, okay, yeah, I did that. Maybe I did this and that. But he likes to, like, I don't know if it's like I don't know. But it's like, whenever we're arguing, it's like, but you did this, but you do that. But sometimes, half the time, like, what we're arguing about is like, we are not the same, to where like you cannot say I did the same thing. Like, not everything I did the same as you. We can't use that. But I think that's like one of his little strategies, like when he's arguing, and it's like, it's starting to get on my nerves, because it's like, you cannot blame me, so then it makes it lesser on you. So then the problem is like, okay, well, it's justified because I do it too, so it should be all right. No. So then the communication is really poor. Like, communication was more like, now at this point, when we fought a couple times, and then when we kept fighting in the beginning, then I see where it died off, where it started having problems, because now it's at the point where he's like, I don't even want to say this or that because I know you're gonna get pissed and I don't want to argue. So then he chose not to tell me, and then I would find out, like, hearing him, conversating with my dad, and then he's talking to him about that, and I'm like, well, when did that happen? Like, how could you tell me that? And then I felt I didn't like that feeling, to be like I had to find out what, like, everybody else, or it wasn't even for me to find out. He was talking to my dad. So then I had to fix that, because I was like, no, I don't like that, and I'm pushing him to that point. So I like to, I like to always, plus I'm nosy and I like to know everything. Just the truth. Like, I like to know everything. I like to know what's going on. I want to be alert. I want to be prepared. Like, I'm just like that, and I don't know why so much I'm like that. Like, I really am, and it makes it hard, because he's like, how am I ever supposed to, like, surprise you or do stuff? Like, you always, like, want to be involved in everything. And I'm just like, okay, yes, I understand. So, like, I left, I backed up a little bit, and I was like, okay, that's right, I do do that a lot. And I'm just like, damn, what the hell's wrong with me? I have, like, insecurity, I'm jealous, I'm crazy, controlling, like, goddamn. And I'm like, dang. So the communication got better, because now it's like, I always told, like, I'm the type of person, like, I will be upfront. Like, everything, whenever there's something to do, I always want to involve him. I always, if something happens, I talk to him about it, conversations usually on speakerphone, because I don't like to be like that, like, really secretive. Because I wouldn't like it if he was like that, and I would flip out. So I always do that. I always make sure that communication is open. Like, and to me, it's like, I always want to tell him, like, you can always come to me about anything. Like, yeah, I probably will get mad, but it will go away. But I want to know, no matter what, if I'm going to get pissed or not. Like, I don't like to be in the dark about anything, because I wouldn't do that to him. No. So we do communicate a little bit better now, because we talk about things instead. Instead of let it linger and get bad, and then urinate and then get worse. So yeah, it's good now. We communicate really well now, and that's where it goes into, like, what I told him one time. I said, we got into a huge fight because his friend showed him a picture, right, of the guy's ex-girlfriend. And what got me mad was, I was at work, right? I had just got off the phone with him, because he said he had to get off the phone to something about his boss. So he butt dials me, right, guys? And he butt dials me, and I can hear them conversating, and I hear Ryan, she has beautiful fucking eyes. And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? So I went crazy, and I hung up, called back. I'm like, what the fuck, don't you know you're calling me? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, I heard everything. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, who has beautiful fucking eyes? And who the fuck are you looking at? No. And I tell him, I'm like, those kind of things, like, I'm not looking for that. It happened. If anything, it came to me at that moment. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And then that sparks up my jealousy again. That makes me start thinking 1,025 things. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? You're supposed to be working. And what do you do? Checking out women? Like, I don't understand. And why is he even showing you his ex-girlfriend? And why are you even complimenting her in the first place? Isn't that, like, crossing a line? That's your friend. So, like, it caused a lot of problem. And, like, his friend was like, I'll show you the picture. Like, it's just, and I'm just like, I don't even want to talk to that person. I'm like, you're causing a problem. Like, why are you guys even looking at a fucking picture and even looking at it in that form, in that way? So me, right away, I got pissed, because I was like, you know what, all this time I've been asking for that kind of attention, asking for, like, him to, like, check me out. Hey babe, oh damn, you look cute today, blah blah blah. Those type of things that he says he don't know how to do. So for me to hear it in a butt call pissed me the fuck off. It hurt me as well at the same time. It's like, I guess you are capable of doing that, you just don't do it to me. So there you go, I got my answer. So I was tripping, and I was like, I even went home early. I was so upset. I went home early. I was pissed. I was like, you need to leave. I kicked him out. I was so mad, and I was like, I felt like I got cheated on, to be honest. And the way, through a butt dial, like, I just felt like it was meant for me to hear that. So I just went crazy. I went real crazy on him, and I was like, you need to leave, blah blah blah. And he was like, are you serious? And me, when I'm mad, like, I can cut you with my words, and that's my thing that I know. And then I can't stop myself when it's already started. Like, I'm already pissed. I see red, and I can't. There's no coming back from it. So yeah, I do hurt him by my words. Like, I do talk a lot of crap, and I do go after him, And it's just because I'm hurt. Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't want that to happen. I was fine with him when we got on the phone. Before that, we were good. And he was like, okay, I'll call you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, love you. And then I get a butt dial. And that's what happened. And it ruined my whole fucking day. So, shit like that, like, it comes to me and I tell him, everything that you do sneaky or all that shit always comes to light. One way or the other. Like, if I'm not looking for it, it will come to me eventually and I will pay attention. And I will find out. So he was like, I didn't do nothing wrong. It's just a picture, blah, blah, blah. So, to me, it is a lot. You know what I mean? Hey, my picture you're looking at, I can't even get that from you. And I tell you that's what I want. That's what I need from you. And you tell me, okay, I'll try. I'm not like that. And just to hear you do it, it pisses me off. I was like, that's cool. So then my insecurity kicks in and I'm just like, what if, am I not good enough for him to be complimenting? Like, is it me? Like, do you not like me? Like, what is it? And then, it just started making you think, and then you get like into this mood, like you're like, I just want to be by myself, and you don't want to be with that other person. Like, I got that pissed. So then that happened, and we talked about it, and then we communicated about it, and then that's my thing. I'm very big on communication. He's not. So it's like we're yin and yang for almost everything in this relationship. And I guess that's a good thing, that you do have to meet your opposite, for it to work. But come on, certain things drives me nuts. So yeah, our communications are right. It's a little better now, because now that I put everything on the table. Because ever since that picture, it made me feel like, first I was mad and then sad and then depressed and then like, damn, like, is something wrong with me? Like, am I ugly? Am I not have beautiful eyes? Like, what is it? It's just making you look at yourself, which is crazy about situations because it flips it on you. And you're the one that does it to yourself. If you make it flip on you, because you start thinking about other shit that instead of the problem. So that stuff happened, and then I finally just said, you know what? I talked to my friends at work. I was like, what do you guys think? Like, I need some advice. I need someone else to like calm me down so I don't kick him out and it be over, and not get all the facts, because right now I'm just mad and I'm making decisions from being mad, and that's like the worst thing to do. And everyone tells you don't make decisions because you're mad, because it doesn't work out well that way. So I did for a couple of days. I talked to my friends and I talked to my mom and I talked to everybody in there. Just like, you need to let him know what you want and what you expect from him and what he needs to do for you, so you can get at least, let you feel secure. So if things like this happen, you don't trip and be like, you know what, it's all right, because I know me and him are good, because you have that feeling, and you're good. You don't have to worry about things like that, because he comes home to you, he treats you like a princess, and you don't got nothing to worry about. But in my case, it's like I'm not getting that, so I'm just like, now I have to tell him, and be like, hey, I told you. And if he doesn't do it, just be like, well, I already told him, he knows. So I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to talk to him. So I texted him and I said, we need to talk after work. And he didn't respond to me, so it made me kind of more mad. So I called him, like, didn't you see your freaking text? He's like, yeah. And I said, let's talk. And so, like, I get the kids after work, and he goes home in his car, because sometimes he has to work late. So, oh man, there's a lot of cops right now. So that day, I was on my way to the daycare, and I was like, hey, let's just talk, and I started talking to him, and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, I just want to air it out, I want to tell you, like, I have to feel secure, and I wouldn't flip out as much, because I know that me and you are solid. Like, I need you to make me feel like I have nothing to worry about if situations like this happen. Like, I have nothing to worry about. I don't have to worry about anything happening. And, and I understand, like, you can tell me, because he always says, I go home to you, and blah, blah. I don't care. I know many people that do their shit and go home to their woman. So I tell him, I said, I need you to put the effort. Like, this is like the last straw to me. Put the effort. Try to be more romantic. Try to tell me I love you more than just after we leave from the house or every phone call. Like, I love you out of nowhere. I want you compliment me sometimes. Like, if you see me wearing makeup, because I never wear makeup, like, dang, it looks nice. Not, who are you trying to impress? Like, shit like that. Like, it irritates me. I'm like, why are you telling me that? And, like, you know what I mean? Like, compliment me. Like, do nice stuff. Like, I tell him, like, it's crazy to me that you don't want to do that kind of crap, and it's freaking free. You don't have to buy nothing. It's free. You just have to fucking do it and be genuine about it. That's my thing, because sometimes I feel like I'm making him do certain things because I'm always nagging him and basically telling him, like, let's go, let's do it. And instead of him doing it on his own, like, meaningful, like, he means to do it, instead of me telling him to do it. You know, and it's just a lot, because some situations, like, I feel like I have to, because it's like I have to hold his hand. You know, I feel that way. Like, I feel like I have 3 kids, not 2 type of situation sometimes. Like, it's frustrating. And so, like, those kind of things, like, you just have to be vocal. Like, they're not gonna know, like, if you know, they're not gonna know how you feel unless you express it, unless you tell them, like, hey, look, you know, I expect these things to be happening. It's been 4 or 5 years, or however long you guys been in a relationship, and just be vocal. Communicate with them, dude. Communication is very big in a relationship, and trust. So that falls hand in hand, because if you don't have communication, and if you don't trust the person, like, how are you supposed to have good communication? And how are you supposed to be, like, secure about the situation? So that's the one thing, like, I don't feel secure with him, as far as, like, you know, knowing that he'll have my back, and, like, I have nothing to worry about, and he can't look at a picture and it's not meaning anything sexual, and me knowing that, you know, and I don't, because he doesn't make me feel that way. So yeah, we went through that little patch, and, like, I think sometimes you just have to sit down and just talk, because you don't know how he's feeling, because that's when he'll open up and tell me, well, babe, I try to do those things, or, babe, you know, he tells me, I'll be thinking in my head that I want to do this and this for you, but then he doesn't, because he thinks that I'm gonna think it's stupid or something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, just do it. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, those kind of things, like, but, you know, it's gotten better. Like, he's more attentive. He's more, you know what I mean? Like, he knows that I always told him, like, we need to split the responsibilities at home, as far as if I have to be working, I think, in my opinion, and I have to go to work and come home, like, you need to help me with the house, the kids, everything, 50-50, because it's different. If I wasn't working, then I'm home, and then that's my responsibility to take care of the house. But if I'm working and you're working, then it's going to get split in half, and we're going to share the responsibility. So it's more like Ryan's little ego kicks in, and it's like, you're not going to tell me to, you know, don't tell me to do the dishes, don't tell me to clean the living room. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, then how am I supposed to tell you? Nicely? Like, will you please do that? Or if you have spare time, would you do that? I don't have time for that. And I'm just like, it's just different. Sometimes he's like more, like, his silence is more deadly than his words, and mine is more like, my words is vicious, and when I'm silent, I can't be silent. I have to talk crap. Like, I don't know, it's hard for me. But yeah, I just wanted to, like, talk about that, you know, touch bases on that, because that's another thing that we had issues about, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, it's hard, because it's like, we're young, we're both, everything is like, all this is new to both of us, like, living with someone, being this long with each other, because we both are the same. He's never lived with someone for so long, he's never been with someone so long, and you know what I mean? And it's just, it's different. And it's just like, me, I act a fool. I'm a female. I'm very emotional, crazy, maybe a little too crazy. But anything, I do love him, because he does listen to me. You know, like, if I have an issue, he already knows. Like, I'm gonna talk to him about it, and I'm psycho, and yeah. But he's still here, so it was like it. But anyways, so yeah, that's all. I just wanted to touch base on that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's something that everyone has to deal with in a relationship, no matter if it's a good or bad relationship. That issue always comes up, and that's always a topic to talk about. It should be a topic to talk about. What you expect in a relationship, what you expect from your partner, and what you deserve is always important. And don't ever lose that, because if you lose that, then that's when you lose yourself, and you fall into your whole world is just your partner. And I did that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, like this video, guys, you know, and if you're not subscribed, guys, you know, I sure would appreciate it. And let's like get to 100 subscribers. Let's it's possible. Let's get there. You know what I mean? And like the video, subscribe, share it, watch it 25 times. Like, watch it with your boyfriend, like, or husband. Like, that's what I do, and it helps us too, because it's like kind of like me telling him but not telling him, and him listening to it and hearing it without me arguing, and it's just listening to how I feel. Because he does watch these videos, you know, it pops up on his phone, you know, he sees it, so I know he's watching the videos. So it's kind of like us having us talk about the situation, but not face to face, to where it's gonna cause an argument, and he can just listen to it and actually hear me. So I guess it does help me out in that way too, you know, and it probably will help you guys out too. Just discuss things. Like, sometimes you have to see other people's stuff to like see, you know, as an example, and be like, okay, well, that's how that's supposed to be done, how to handle that situation. So yeah, so I love you guys, and I'm almost at work, so tomorrow we'll do another video. I want to cover some more stuff, just a little bit more things, and then we'll be done with the relationship series. And then, you know, I want to start talking about Christmas shopping, because it's going to be this weekend, and I want to take you guys along with us, because I'm going to do like my husband and the kids is shopping. And then I work Saturday, so I will be talking to you guys on Saturday in the morning on the way to work. And I'll probably go shopping after work, and I'll take you guys with me to Walmart or wherever I'm going to go. Because I'm thinking about it's probably going to be, I have to go to a couple stores. I have to go to like you guys will see. I don't want to say it. My husband's going to be watching this. He's going to know. So, yeah, that's the plans for Saturday. And tomorrow we'll do another video. And yeah, so subscribe, and if you did subscribe, welcome to the family. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for, guys? Subscribe. You won't be disappointed. I'm very loud, talk a lot, drama. Yeah, you might have to pause me a couple times and then watch me later, because I talk too goddamn much. But anyways, guys, have a good day.